Mr. B, XRP here, and welcome back. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. I know I did. Played some pickleball, spent some time with my family, and certainly looking forward to the holidays that are on their way. And happy Hanukkah to everyone celebrating Hanukkah, and we hope that you have a great holiday. Man, I've got so much for you here today. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to talk to you about the smartest man in the world has opinions on XRP and Bitcoin and also is making price predictions. I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about why XRP ETFs matter, especially for financial advisors. And also there's a new rising star in the XRP community. I don't know if you've seen her, but she's awesome, and her understanding of financial markets is incredible. And then the XRP supply is still declining off of exchanges. So let's hop into it and let's start with the prices. And I'm going to do a quick refresh here. And first thing I'm going to tell you is that the fear and greed index is pegged at 16. Lower the number, the more the fear. And last week we were at 20. Yesterday we were at 21. Today we're at 16. People are scared. Now, if you're a contrarian investor, right? If you're not a sheep and always following the herd, if you're a contrarian investor and people are afraid, what do you want to be, right? I know for me, I want to not be afraid, right? So I always want to go the opposite of where the herd is. It's hard. It's really, really hard because it's easy to follow the herd. But when there's extreme fear, I go the opposite direction. So that's just the way I do it. And I know that a lot of digital asset investors, crypto investors, are contrarian investors. That's kind of why they were here to begin with. So I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way I do. It's just the way I am. All right, so let's run through the prices. Bitcoin's at 89,490. Ethereum's at 3,134. Tether's holding comfortably at $1. XRP is at $1.97. BNB, Binance Coin, did flip XRP yet again at $8.87. And on the 30-day, let's look at this thing. On the 30-day, Bitcoin is down 6.5%. Ethereum's down 0.38%. BNB is down nearly 5%. XRP is down a little bit over 11%. And on the 1 year, Bitcoin is down 13.5%, Ethereum's down 19%, BNB's down 25%, and XRP's down 15, almost 16%. So we are certainly in the doldrums here, and I know a lot of people were hoping for a Santa rally, and it's certainly still possible. I'd love to see it turn around. It would be fantastic for everyone involved. All right, so let's talk about the ETF flows, see where they're at right now, and it looks like we have total assets under management. It looks like we're at 1.3 billion. Wow, that jumped big time. I mean, we're looking at the potential of closing out the year with $2 billion in XRP ETFs. I mean, we'd have to have a good strong run here the last 15 days, but I think it's totally possible. And look at who's leading the volume here on the close on Friday. Bitwise was leading. Franklin Templeton behind them, Grayscale, Canary Capital, Rex Osprey, and then 21 shares coming in here. So really glad to see that activity still going on. You know what? Speaking of ETFs, this is Matt Hogan from Bitwise talking about why financial advisors like ETFs. I think it's important to understand why they like them. And let's hear what Matt has to say.
Financial institutions and financial professionals don't spend all of their time studying the markets. This is from a study that looked at how financial advisors spend their day. They work about 55 hours a week. They spend 5 hours of that on investment management. A lot of people think of institutions, particularly financial advisors, spending all day studying the markets. They spend 10% of their time studying the markets. Their average allocation to crypto might be 1% of their portfolio. That means each week they spend 3 minutes studying and thinking about the crypto market. That is actually how the numbers knit out. So why do they like ETFs? Because they know them, they trust them, they make it easy, and in 3 minutes they can buy it.
So they prefer ETFs because they know them, they trust them, they're easy, but they still don't understand crypto, right? And for those of you who've been here a long time, you've taken years to research crypto. You've listened to thousands of hours on YouTube. Some of it was great information, some of it was garbage. You've read, you've learned, you've listened to smart people, you've ignored some people that you knew had ulterior motives. But it took you years to get where you are. And one of the things before we go any further that I want to say is, for the people that you know in your life that are not yet up to speed, as many of you know, I created Blockchain Bootcamp. It is my 8 years in digital assets compressed into 90 minutes. So if you know somebody that needs to get up to speed on learning about blockchain and crypto and what the future is and how it works, please refer them to cryptocoachnick.com. And also I have a course for financial advisors. So if you're a financial advisor, or if you have a financial advisor that you think would benefit from this, please send them to my course. And also there's a discount code in the description of this video that will give 25% off either course. So for those who need to get up to speed, that's a great way to do it. Okay, this is something I saw, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this, and we're going to talk about it.
Activity begets activity.
Exactly.
Right?
It was funny, actually. We were speaking at the stock exchange a couple months back, and in the pit, many, many years ago, there were actual physical people, trading, actually, interacting with each other. Now there's, a handful of people on the trading floor, and it's literally just, all automated. And there's, market makers, etc. It's all digitized. And same thing will happen with blockchains. I think banks can become much smaller by relying on blockchains. You can get, huge network effects through the different blockchains, like you were saying, and ultimately it's going to have huge efficiencies for the institutions, and ultimately a lot of that value is going to accrue to the underlying blockchains.
Right, exactly. And that's a great point, because we know that efficiency is driven by the blockchain. Now, how are we extracting the value?
So Dom and Phil Kwok were out there at the NASDAQ talking about blockchain and the future of blockchain. And once again, I remind you that when you talk to people about blockchain and crypto, and when you think about crypto and blockchain, it's not about the individual assets. It's about the underlying blockchain. What is that blockchain going to be used for? Does it have a real utility? Are there real companies building on it? Are they using it to tokenize assets? Stop thinking about it as Cardano, XRP, Bitcoin. Don't think of it that way. Think of it as, what are people using the Bitcoin blockchain for? Well, they're really not, right? There's no use case for the Bitcoin blockchain. It's not a slight on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's fantastic. First mover advantage. I wish I had 1 million of them. I wish I had 50 of them. But the blockchain's not being used for anything. What blockchains are being used for utility? Think about that. We know XRP is being used for utility. We know Solana is being used for utility. We know Ethereum, like it or not, it's being used for utility. It's the most used blockchain on earth. Is it slow? Yes. Is it expensive? Yes, but it's being used. So stop thinking about individual assets and start thinking about what is the use case of their underlying blockchains. And look at your investment not being in that digital asset, but being in the protocol, being in the blockchain of that asset. Go deeper and think about that, because I don't hear enough people talking about that. And I just hear people talking about coins, this coin, that coin, this coin, that coin. There's 20,000 plus coins out there, guys. 99.9% of them are going to fail. That still leaves way too many. So picking them that way is not going to work. You got to look at utility, okay? All right, Eleanor Terrett posted this. New JP Morgan bets on blockchain with new money market fund, plus the banking lobby pushes back against crypto's new trust charters, and a look ahead at the week's key events. So JP Morgan, look, everyone is going to double down on blockchain and crypto investments. Everyone is coming to this party. You were just here early. And it's hard to be early, isn't it? It's hard to be early. But guess what early does? Early pays well. So stay early, stay vigilant, and know that early pays well. And that's the good thing. Okay, this was from the OCC. Now, everybody knows about this already, about the individual companies that received the bank charters, right? It was First National Digital Currency Bank, Ripple National Trust Bank, BitGo Bank and Trust, Fidelity Digital Assets, Paxo Trust Company. This is all amazing. I mean, the banks are shivering in their boots, right? It's now become easier for high quality crypto companies to become banks than it is for banks to become crypto companies, because the banks don't even understand crypto. They don't understand digital assets. The best they can do right now is turn around and buy a crypto platform and try and buy the mines that are involved with that crypto platform so that they can plug into crypto as quickly as possible. That's the best thing that they can do. All right, let's keep moving here. This lady is amazing. I'm not going to play this whole video. I just want you to get a taste. If you've heard her, I want you to hear if you haven't heard her, I want you to hear a little bit. If you have heard her, she's amazing. It's Kamala Stevenson. She has a YouTube channel. She's so sharp, so smart. I don't want to insult her. If she ever listens to my videos, I don't know. If anybody knows her, this is not an insult. This is actually a compliment. I had to go ask AI if she was AI because she's so good. She's so smooth. She's so smart. Somebody said she never blinks. I think it's just editing. She's amazing. This lady is so smart. But listen to her for a bit.
Now, I want to break down what collateral status really means. When the CFTC approved XRP as acceptable collateral, they didn't just say, yeah, sure, throw it in the mix. No, collateral is the backbone of the derivatives system. It's the assets institutions trust enough to post when they're taking on leverage or hedged positions. So if you want to simplify it, collateral equals the asset Wall Street is willing to bet millions on. You don't use junk collateral. You don't use hype coins. You don't use assets with weak liquidity. You use assets that have deep liquidity, proven reliability, settlement capability, commodity-like stability, and regulatory clarity. And that's the real headline here, is that XRP just got treated like a commodity-grade settlement asset. Let me give you a few implications.
So she's just so smart, and I guess she used to be a health influencer, and obviously was part of the crypto community or the XRP community. Now she is out there and she is making videos, and it's awesome to have her. So I welcome her to the XRP community. Okay, Young Hoon Kim. Everybody knows this guy. You've seen him if you're watching Twitter. He is the smartest guy on the planet. IQ is 276, okay? He's got opinions. He's got a lot of opinions. I mean, one of his opinions I see him posting all the time is God is real. So for anybody that wants to know what the smartest people in the world think, he thinks God is real. And I think that's fantastic. So some of the predictions and things he's saying out there, I'm going to go in chronological order, right? So on December 12th, let's see here, he said, he said, in my view, XRP has a strong possibility of reaching all-time high by the end of this year, okay? Then he said, I buy XRP from now on December 12th. And then he said on December 14th, based on my personal view, XRP could potentially reach $100 over the next 5 years. And he also says, not financial advice, do your own research. And then he went on to say, if you have a higher IQ, then you may be more likely to hold XRP. Not financial advice, do your own research. So he's covering his butt there, but he's got some really strong opinions. And listen, he's also got opinions about Bitcoin. He also says, don't worry, and he said this, let's see what the date was, December 9th. He said that Bitcoin's heading to all-time high of $220,000, and he didn't say when. Let's see here. No, he didn't say when. So look, if you care about what the smartest man in the world thinks, that's what he thinks. He's got some interesting opinions. It's nice to have him here in digital assets, that's for sure. The last thing I wanted to say is Coin Bureau had posted this. 1.3 billion XRP gone from exchanges in 1 month. So guys, these ETFs are eating up the XRP off exchanges. That's the beauty of ETFs. They absorb the XRP. It comes off the exchanges. Why is that important? It's not available for sale. Less supply is a good thing because it will ultimately drive up price. Price is not exciting today. Don't look at that. Remember, if you're a contrarian investor, you don't care when there's extreme fear. You think the opposite. And look, on the opposite side, if there is absolute jubilation in the market, if people if the greed is out of this world, you need to still be a contrarian investor and think the opposite, right? Maybe that's a time to take some profits and get out of the market or do whatever you need to do. That's on you. Okay, that's it for this one, guys. Please like my channel if please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share my videos with anybody you think might appreciate them. I'm not a financial advisor. The video was for entertainment, educational purposes only. Always do your own research. See you next time. Bye-bye. For my Blockchain Bootcamp crypto educational program, please visit cryptocoachnick.com and be sure to use the discount code XRP589 for 25% off. There's also a link in the description of this video.